Man, there's nothing getting by this guy, I tell you.
Welcome back to the Tuck Shop Podcast. As always, David, how are you?
Oh, I'm doing well, Matt. Thank you.
We survived the first week.
Yeah, it's over.
Mostly.
Yeah,
But
it is.
I was really excited because we were sitting down to record this, and Abby Gearhart's coming in a little bit to talk about a whole bunch of cool stuff, including Winterfest and a really kind of unique project. I don't think we have ever had something quite like this come up before. So I'm going to just kind of tease it at that.
Yeah.
But wandering the hallways, I came across Jim Sestrich, who's been on the show before. Jim, how are you?
Wandering.
I'm just fine today. Struggling a little. This class I'm taking this term begins at 9 o'clock, and the weather around Johnstown can be a little sluggish in the morning, but so far so good. It's a very interesting class. Once again, I'm with Dr. Kerrigan. We're learning about fossil fuels and their impact on the economy. Usual things from him: research paper, presentation, numerous questions, overwhelming homework.
Well, that's why when I saw you, I said, hey, why don't you sit down? Because it's a good time to promote. You take part and have been on the show before and talked about this, and this is your third or fourth time through taking a class in the LearningPLUS program.
Yes, this is my third class. I typically do it in the winter term because of I am retired, so there are some things to do, around the house, activities that I have. In the fall, there's a little bit less around the house and things like that to do, golfing, etc. So I thought it would be a great time to enlighten myself a little bit and take advantage of the LearningPLUS program. But it's a lot more than that. I really enjoy the environment up here at UPJ. It's great to talk to some of the younger students, some of their aspirations of where they're heading. Met some professors and got involved with the Alumni Association, and thoroughly enjoyed my decision that I made to expand my presence here at the university.
And what year did you originally graduate?
Well, I should have graduated in 1979, but ended up sneaking out of here in 1982. So it's been a while.
Are these classes you need now for your diploma? Or are these really just for fun?
No, these are just for fun and to expand my knowledge and pester other people about facts that I've learned about rocks.
I think this is, and I've talked about this. I've talked about this with you, Jim, a little bit. David, I've talked about this with you. I think the number of people who don't understand the impact of going through this process, and we'll talk to alumni who and they're not. It's not a bad thing. It's just you kind of think back in 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, or more, and it's a little different than being here today. And actually, Jim, you and I talked a good bit about this on Wednesday. There are big chunks of things that are the same and big chunks of things that are different now being a student today than not. But you got a chance to see that. And it's kind of interesting because a number of my students have been in classes with you, and they talk about how you bring a perspective that none of them have because you have actual experience.
It certainly has been an evolution here in the last 40 or 50 years at the University of Pittsburgh at Johnstown. And it was a little difficult to wrap around my head the first couple of weeks that, I came back and after I got involved a little bit more, and that the social aspects of the university are different because the exposure to the internet, which was not available back in the day. As a matter of fact, back in the day, CDs weren't available. So we played a lot of albums. There were speakers blowing out the windows and throwing footballs and frisbees and that kind of thing. And we had to sort of find our own entertainment in that respect. As far as the educational changes, the biggest struggle for me was, I call it the I/O of being a student, which is that a lot of things are done online now. There's no standing in line on registration day. Tests are taken on the computer most of the time. Assignments are submitted on the computer, which was a little bit of a difficult adjustment for me, as when everything was pretty much on a hard copy. But it's if you've missed that throughout your career, then it's unfortunate. It's quite a thing to adjust to. But if you've evolved along with that, then it was just a different step in continuing the educational process. And in some ways, I'm a little reminiscent about the old ways, but I embrace the new ways as well.
And before we get to the calendar, David, they kind of ratted out, well, not ratted, but they were talking about you have a 14-page term paper in this class that you're taking this term?
Yeah, well, that's the proposed length of it. People were already complaining. 14 pages, is that double space, triple space, single space? But yes, presentation, paper, called on class, all those things.
Now, what class is this that you're taking?
It is fossil fuels and economic geology.
So you're like the fossil and the fossil fuels class.
Boy, I am so much nicer to you than David is.
Well, you might as well reference me as the oldest person in the class because Dr. Kerrigan does it on a regular basis.
So,
That's Ryan's personality. That's cool.
Yeah.
No, it's fun. You've done it. Our Vice President John Wozniak, who's been on the show, has actually taken a course from me and is now taking a criminology course. It's really exciting. And the neat thing is this is available to alumni. I'm going to make sure we put the link to the LearningPLUS program down below in the description of this show, so anyone who's interested can come in and audit a course to go through the process.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Matt, but I believe it's not necessarily available to alumni. It's available to anyone over 50 years of age.
I believe.
I would encourage anyone to do it. It just gives you a good feeling to kind of be back in class. There's not a lot of pressure on you. You create the amount of pressure that you want. You want to just audit the class. You want to be,
We've had people
graded
come and just
things.
like, I want to listen to the lecture.
And that's fine.
You have embraced the entire experience from day one to the end of assignments and lectures and projects and papers and everything. You can go that far as well.
Glad I did. Gives me something to do in the evening.
but in all seriousness, though, you graduated, what year was it again?
1982.
82, okay. Because, I mean, there would be a whole, just the class in itself. This class in itself taught in 1982 would have been a different and total perspective.
That's the fun part.
You know what I mean? Like,
thinking about that, because I was actually thinking of it.
About that
more of the things that I would teach is, for example, when John took my business database course, that's not a course that would have been off. It didn't exist. There was no way to do it when he was here. That's also, so I went that way. You were thinking an interesting way too, saying what has changed since 1980.
If I said in 1982, the word fossil fuels, there's a totally different understanding of fossil fuels and what the climate has been through, what the world's been through in the last since 1982. Fossil fuels have got a whole different, it's not your father's fossil fuels anymore. It's something totally different.
Well, I agreed. And a simple example is fracking. I mean, in 1982, the technology as well as the thought of fracking didn't exist. Right. They knew the gas was there, but that's one of the things we talk about in economic geology is that even though that the resource is there, is it economically viable to go and get it? I
guess the last point, though, but you're right. A perspective of somebody who lived through it in 82 is different, even in the technology, point of view. Whenever you figure that the majority of, well, the whole of the students that are here right now were born into technology, where in 1982 you weren't. Fossil fuels were different in 1982. That perspective, I think, is an interesting, juxtaposition against what's here today.
I can't remember the exact wording of it, but I do recall an individual saying that those that are in college now, or some other reference to that, are the first generation that was born
With technology in their hand.
with the internet, that
Right.
did not exist without the internet.
But just the whole take away all the technology, simply fossil fuels.
Yeah.
They're just totally different than what you would think they were back in 1982.
Absolutely.
It's really fascinating. I encourage everyone that if it's something there and any one of our programs to come and take a peek and participate. It's really kind of neat.
Yeah, and no one, I believe, in the program is looking for a new career. They're just looking for a way to inspire themselves a little bit and keep their thoughts sharp. And
that's the
it's a-
purpose.
and
It's
a
not you don't
great
get
way
credit
to
for
doing
it. You're not adding to your transcript or going to get a there is no academic credit behind it. But if you want to have an interest, you want to keep yourself sharp, you want, like you said, great program.
The experts tell us to exercise our brain, and I think that's a great way to do it at a very reasonable cost.
It's really neat. That's why I'm glad I ran into you, and I'm like, come on, because this is a good time, start a term, to get people thinking, because summer. And I'm looking. The summer deadline date is April 15th, so it's not just a couple, 10, 12 weeks away, and you could be ready to go for a class in the summer. So we have a good calendar of stuff, but first, I think, David, we should talk about our 100
Challenge.
the 100 donor
New.
alumni, 100 new presidential donor challenge. We were challenged to find 100 new alumni donors. That's folks out there that are alum that have never given a penny back
to UPJ.
And how we're doing it is we're going to launch. We can start collecting the money February 1st.
February 1.
But we will, if you're like, boy, you hear this today and you're like, I want to do this, I'm going to have a webpage down in the description that you can click and we'll sign up, and David and I will email you a direct reminder to say it's February 1st. Here's exactly where you go. Click this button
Get on
and send
board.
$10. The nice thing is, again, it's for anything at UPJ. So if you're, I'm going to use Jim as an example. Jim comes in and says, boy, you know what? I've never had an opportunity to give back, and I'd like to. And I really have enjoyed Ryan Kerrigan's courses. I'm going to give $10 to the geology department. Perfect. You can do that. Or maybe you have a favorite sport. And you're like, you know what? I always enjoyed coming and watching the women's basketball games. Give them $10. Maybe it's like, I don't know what they need. I haven't had a chance to be on campus, and I don't, I'm just going to give it to an area that let them know. They know what they need. That's fine too. It could be anything. Your choice. But we have this challenge coming from the president.
Super simple.
Super simple, straightforward. We're going to harp on it for the rest of the month of January and through February across the board.
But we want this, there's a deadline to this. So February 22nd.
Hang on. I'm sorry.
I'm looking to my friend.
24th?
Yes.
24th.
Yes.
February 24th.
February
Deadline.
24th, midnight.
So you
After
can
that,
pre-register now, and we have then 24 days to make this work.
To make it happen.
And to sweeten the pot, because I don't like to lose.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead. Sweeten it.
If we get 100 alumni donors who give $10, what's our basic math say that is?
Come on, Jim. You're taking classes.
$1,000.
$1,000.
I will match his donation of $1,000 out of my own pocket.
Jim's reaching for his wallet.
I'm not asking Jim to.
Jim's a giver. Jim's a giver.
So,
He's a giver.
If you like the show, if you ever got anything out of it, this is kind of a way, hey, participate.
Yeah.
There'll be the reminder link. It's all you got to do is give me your name and your email, and we will send you a note on February 1st saying, here's the donation link. Hit the ground running, and get us out there. So that's a big thing. Abby's going to be here in just a minute or two to talk about the great stuff coming up this weekend with Winterfest and everything. So I'm going to leave that schedule to her.
Yep.
But you have, I do want to leave before we talk about Levity.
Yes. So Levity, it'll be a week from tomorrow, Thursday. So that's February 29th.
No.
Yes, no, am I off?
January 29th.
January 29th. Man, you got me stuck on February. Yeah, January 29th.
There is no February 29th this year.
Man, there's nothing getting by this guy, I tell you. So February 29th.
He was giving you a hard time about being old.
January
I'm
29th.
going to suggest he take a class in time.
Wow. Okay, anyhow, February 20th.
The show has turned violent.
I know. It's, February, what do we say? 29th?
January 29th.
January 29th. I'm stuck on February, man. You guys got me stuck on February. January 29th at Levity, 5:30 to 7:30. I know, I wanted to get everybody, up and running by Monday, but I know a guy that knows a guy, so you can still register. Give us a call. We're going to have some appetizers, some decent food, some beverages. Dr. Spector will be there. Like I said before, he's both informative and entertaining, to say the least. Another alumni. So stop in. You can stop in for 15 minutes, 20 minutes. You can stop in for the whole time if you'd like. But we'd love to see you. We'd love to have you come on, just chat a little bit about, UPJ, find out what's going on, see what's the future, some of the future plans are. So it'll be a good time. So you can click right in. I probably have something in the description, but also I'm sure you can still find it on our Facebook page.
I'm planning on going.
Are you?
Yep.
Kind of happy to see you.
That'd be good.
Yeah, good time. One other thing I do want to mention, coming in April, working with Natural Sciences, we're planning an event in April. We'll talk about this much further down the line. But just started meeting with them. April, I got this one right. April 11th, we're looking to do a natural science brunch. And for those of you that have come through the halls here at UPJ, Elizabeth Bell, Longcella Bell, this is her last year, guys, retiring. So
yeah.
I'm sure we're going to do a little something on that day also for Dr. Bell. So keep an eye out for that. Registration page will be up and running. Also, very soon, I do want to mention, just got word yesterday, the UPJ Alumni Board page for nominees is ready to be launched. So I'm going to be launching that in the very near future, if not already up there. So keep an eye on that. If you think you got what it takes, or if you think you know somebody that got what it takes, we ask that you follow the link. Please put in a bio, kind of a little bit about
things
yourself.
we've learned, things that are good. Put a bio in. It helps us.
It
helps you.
Everyone. Sure.
Submit a picture.
Picture's a good thing.
Do not submit your driver's license as a picture. Just
Or
a picture.
passport picture.
Or passport or credit card. These are things that we have seen.
And
Don't do it.
please, don't send a picture that when you went to school here, if you went like in the 70s or the 80s. You're not fooling anyone.
I look the same.
You're not fooling anyone. Send a current picture.
Send a current picture.
So keep an eye out for that. Again, you'll be able to see it on our LinkedIn and on our alumni Facebook page. So it's a couple of things coming up. We got Hall of Fame coming up further down the road, and so on and so forth. A lot of different things.
Well, this
happening.
is gonna be real great. So, David, thank you as always for the stuff you do for us, and Jim, thanks for stopping by. I look forward to. It's kind of fun knowing I'll see you 3 days a week at the least.
It's my pleasure. Looking forward to helping out when I can.
I'm excited. All right, let's go talk to Abby Gearhart. Well, I think it's always fitting. We seem to be in this cycle of our first interview of the spring term, kicking off the slow march through winter with Abby Gearhart. Abby, welcome back. I'm pretty sure, are the most the person with the most guest appearances on the show.
Oh man, I am honored. Do I get like an award or a prize for that?
Nope.
Just
Nothing?
continuing angst.
How about one of those cool alumni T-shirts that you have?
Would you like one of those?
I mean, I do have one, but I could always
No, we
use
got new
another one.
ones.
We got blue ones now.
I don't have a blue one. That's my prize, right?
Stop over. We'll grab you one. Seriously.
Yeah, we switched it up for fall graduation. Now it's blue with yellow print
Oh,
instead of
fancy.
yellow with blue print.
Look at us.
Yeah.
It would have happened last year if I hadn't distracted David when he was
Yeah.
doing the order.
So we'll probably have blue for the next
10
several
years.
Orders. Yeah.
Well, if Abby's back, that means something cool has to be going on. And it's January, so that means Winterfest.
Woohoo! So excited for it.
What day's Winterfest? It's
Winterfest is a 2-day event, the 23rd and 24th. So just to go through the list of events on Friday, January 23rd, kind of kicks off with our wrestling match at 7 p.m. And then at 8, well, roughly like 8:15, whenever the match is over, we're going to have our athletic alumni guest reception event. So that'll be really fun. That'll be in the Hall of Fame room. So that's Friday night. And then Saturday's the day where we like to kind of open our doors for the community to come in. And that's when we have our gym, our wellness center gym packed with inflatables. We've got our swimming pool open. We've got a band. And we got some other events going on aside from those events in the wellness center and our sports center. We have our men's and women's basketball team playing at 1 and 3. And then our Fellowship of Christian Athletes is sponsoring a faith and
They're not
family
playing
night.
against
So
each other, though, right?
they're not playing against each other. No. So we're playing against Gannon, which is going to be awesome. That's usually a sellout game for us to begin with. So it is going to be nuts here. And I am so excited.
last year, if I remember correctly, was also Gannon, and those were very contested games.
Yes, they're one of our biggest rivals, if not the biggest, and it's just always such a great game. And one of Gannon's players is from Berlin, so there's a lot of local people that show out and show up, which we got to get them rooting for the Mountain Cats. But it's exciting.
East or West Berlin?
East or West? I didn't know there was a division between the two. Berlin is Berlin. It's
No,
like Somerset
He just
County.
made a Soviet Union joke.
Oh, shoo! Sorry, right over my head. Guys,
Pravda, comrade.
I'm doing a lot of planning with this, so I'm not on my game. So I'm just focused on Winterfest right now, not about any sort of history.
And it's not the 80s.
That's
so
right.
you shouldn't.
You weren't even born in the 80s.
Oh man!
You missed all that.
Hey, we're trying to break through walls here, not build any walls. So
Oh, that was nicely done.
thank you,
Well
thank
played.
you.
Well, I'm a little personally invested because Sarah's sister went to Gannon. So
Oh, I thought you were going to say this is going to be more talk about Berlin and the wall. I thought that you were
Oh
personally
goodness!
involved.
yeah, no, David. Jeez, oh man, it's been a couple weeks with you already. You and I, by the way, unrelated to this, have had a day.
A little bit.
So you got a lot of cool stuff coming up. So best way for people who are interested, like, because this is, and David, you and I have talked about this. I think this is across the board our biggest kind of general alumni event that we just see numbers. Homecoming has people, but
you know
this
why?
gets more people.
Because we have like
'Cause
cool
Abby does.
alumni swag.
Oh,
I mean, that swag you're going to get that
Yeah.
when you regardless, for any reason, whether you pay or not or whatever, that's a little something we want to give you guys. So that Friday night, any of those athletes that come will get get the newer edition of the alumni T-shirt, and then the next day in the hospitality room, come in and we're going to make sure we give you a little something to take home. So a nice T-shirt that we've had redesigned.
Yeah, we're planning on some cool stuff for sure, and that's why we really want, like you had asked, where people can find this information. So definitely always like our Facebook pages and our websites, both for Pitch on Sound Athletics and the alumni page, are pushing these flyers. And on the flyers, there's a QR code, and that QR code will link you to our fan app, which is something new that I'd love to talk about here too. It's a fan app where people can purchase either athletic event tickets ahead of time, and actually the Winterfest tickets for the Hall of Fame reception, or the reception in the Hall of Fame room can be purchased on there as well. And then in addition to that, we want to make sure that we're capturing your information so that we can continue to tell you about these awesome events that we have. So there's another link that we have that's part of that flyer that we strongly encourage you to do that. I know it's a little clunky right now. We're working for the app's brand new. So once we get that infused with the app, it'll all be in one place. But the reason why we're pushing this other link is so if you register for that, it'll guarantee you some swag. So we've got some new swag. We've done like snow caps. We've done some like headbands. We've done t-shirts and a couple different iterations of that. So this year I decided to try to do something a little bit different. We got some ball caps coming. So I'm pretty excited about that outside of the alumni swag that you guys have from your department.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
I like a good cap.
But you got to register on that link to guarantee it because supplies are limited. So
yeah, you got. I mean, but that's
I do that
and it is. You know, that to Abby's point, the importance of it is that we know who you are. We know how to get a hold of you. A lot of good stuff going on in athletics, going on in alumni, relations. And if we don't, you hear it all the time. Like I don't get anything from you guys, and I'm like, well, what's your address, your email address? And I get like an AOL, and I'm like, well, there's a good reason you're not getting anything from us, because the last email we have from you is 40 years old.
Yeah.
AOL as an email service is still around technically.
I think
Our mutual friend Colonel Lingenfelder still has an AOL account.
And he's how old?
Anyway, no, that sounds fun. Pre-registration is really, really important to make sure you get into on that list of stuff. It's a great event. We see so many people turn out. Even as iffy as the weather was last year, as soon as that cleared up, everyone flooded into that building.
Yeah, it was huge. I mean, I think we had like our lowest number for the Friday night event. I think it was like around 60 or 70 people, and it was also Valentine's Day weekend. So there was a lot of factors other than the weather that played into that. And that's for the Friday event. The Saturday event is just always nuts. There's just so many people here. So the weather really didn't affect it. If people got a place to go when the weather's bad, they're going to come. So, and it's a safe place.
And that Saturday event, let me get back, that hospitality room is going to be a hospitality room. We're going to have some free food for alum. Come in, free food, free drink. One of the things that always popular, it's interesting, I know we just kind of talked a little bit about technology. Every year we drag out the myriad of yearbooks. And even though we've got so much you can get, on your phone, it still amazes me how alum pick up those yearbooks, page through them, find the photo that they were in a team, grab the yearbook, run across the gym or run across the room and show somebody else, hey, look, here's, an actual photo. So there's always like a lot of cool stuff going on in that hospitality room. And I want to, I'm not going to say come hungry. Please have breakfast, but we will have, I think we're planning on doing some sliders.
Yeah.
Not a 3-course meal.
No, that's not what we're planning. But it's an opportunity to grab, a sandwich, a slider, maybe a beverage. And in the past, don't feel as though that if you're an alum coming with a family, bring the kids into the hospitality room. Mm-hmm. They don't have to stand outside and watch you eat.
That's a parenting tip for you there.
Bring kids?
No, that's a good thing across the board. That's just good advice. No, but I just had this image of you thinking alumni are going to sit in the room while their poor kids are looking through the window. Like, no, kid, when you graduate, you can come have a slider. But until then, you live in an interesting world, my friend.
Yeah, there's just like so much going on, with Winterfest. It's just grown so much. And so if you've been to it before, we restructured a little bit on the Saturday event because we tried to do a band after all the inflatables, and it was a long day, right? Like at 11 to 5 were inflatables, and then we had the band afterwards, and people just weren't sticking around. So we're like, okay, let's try to get the band the same time as the inflatables, and just working the logistic out of that was pretty neat. So I'm really excited. So the alumni hospitality room will be very close in proximity to that. It's not going to be in the Hall of Fame room like it was last year. So it's going to be just right across the gym. So we also wanted those awesome people that work the alumni room to be able to hear the live music too. It's that oldies band. We figured we always play oldies. It's always a safe, venue for a safe type of music for little kids to hear. But that oldies band is a pretty popular band around this area. So they're going to be playing from 1 to 4 in the wellness
they'll have
center.
AOL accounts.
They probably do actually, but they're pretty awesome. I've seen them perform quite a few times, and I think it'll be a really good connection for all the family fun out there.
I'm looking forward to our room. Some neat things we've been talking about potentially adding to it.
It is a good time.
It is. I mean, it's a really fun. I'm not trying to take away from. It's just it seems like this. I've always seen more people that I know show up for Winterfest than like homecoming, and because it's just with with football and everything else. It's not a bad thing. It's just there tends to be a lot of things for people to do, and they're really excited about it.
Yeah, this event kind of conceptualized when Pat Pecora was about to break the record, be the most winningest, and we were praying he was going to do it that night, but we built like a reception around it, and I was like, let's do a family day too, because I think one thing about the Johnstown area, it is just so family infused. So when you have an event that welcomes their children, not saying that homecoming doesn't, but just gives these opportunities for kids to come and try out our facilities, that's the biggest thing, is exposure for our school, right? Like that's kind of what my brain geared towards is getting just fan building and just helping people reconnect with their memories. And that's what your department does so well. And so just getting you in front of those people and having an avenue to connect them, I think was really important. I think that's why this event has just gained so much traction. And it's really something special that our school does that I think people really appreciate, because it's a big undertaking. You know, we spend money on it. It's something that we do. We open our doors, and I love when people are showing up and they're so appreciative of it. So I think it's a really special event.
I'm looking forward to it, of course, across the board. You had mentioned when we were sitting down and talking, and you had made some news over break. Mm-hmm. There's a production crew coming?
Yeah, for sure.
Why?
So I'm so excited. So this kind of bridges into our next conversation. It's just, to me, like, I'm really strong in my faith. I think it's like totally a God thing how this weekend worked out, because Winterfest stemmed, like they said, from Pat Pecora breaking the record and just trying to build family, what he was all about. So they are making a movie, it is official, of Pat Pecora, and it's called Never Let Go of the Rope. And they are also doing a documentary called La Familia, because that's what he would always say in Italian. But they're doing those two. This production team is doing both of those. They're working on both the documentary and the movie. So part of that weekend, they're coming to do interviews with former alumni wrestlers and also staff members that worked with Pat for years. So they're just doing interviews to build for the documentary and also help to continue to build this elaborate story that they have of Pat's 48 amazing years here. I'm like, man, you have a tall task. He has done and accomplished so much in that time. Like, how do you even narrow it down? But this is legit, guys. This is not some sort of indie side film. The movie producer has been in Hollywood and LA and New York, won ESPYs. He's the real deal. I'm not at liberty to speak on air about some of the actors that are signed up to do this, but it's people you would definitely know.
I heard Denzel Washington's being casted for the part of Jim Spector.
Is that right? That is false news. Okay, false news, guys. That is not.
So Denzel, if you're listening, like I'm sure you are,
yeah, no, I can definitely deny that. And you know what? Maybe, who knows? I don't know. But
that's right. You don't know what I know.
He wasn't in the list that was given to me. But I'm not at liberty to share that information yet. But it's a big deal.
David, I'm telling you what, this is my day.
Yeah.
No, that's amazing.
Yeah,
and it makes sense. Because we've talked before, and certainly, Abby, you and I think, have this shared existence that you and I get to do things each day kind of in the seat of somebody that was very important to us. You sit in Pat's seat, I sit in Bill Corey's seat. That kind of could, for some people, be a shadow, but is more of a motivator for, I think, both the stuff that we do.
Yeah. It's a tremendous opportunity for us. Like, yeah, sure. It's like, a lot of people are like, man, you got big shoes to fill. And I'm like, you're right. I do. I have my own pair of shoes, but because of him, I've got this awesome foundation.
I keep it over here.
Oh, that's awesome. The picture of Pat and Bill. But yeah, like I've got my own shoes to wear, but he has laid the foundation for me to walk forward. And so my job is a privilege to steward. And I like to say, just carry his light, continue to carry his light, because he has made his impact so deep across so many people. One gift that Pat had, and I talked to the movie producer daily. I said, you're going to have a tall task, because Pat truly made everyone that he came in contact with feel special. Mm-hmm. And so, like, everyone feels really a part of Pat's life. So it's going to be really hard to navigate through that because of what an intentional, incredible human he is. So his story needs to be told.
We were very, us as a campus is very unique as a community, which is good. And people, alumni who listen, would know that. They were around here. They see that. But the people that took an extra step, and when I was very sick before, and they weren't sure I was going to make it, Pat, who I'd known in passing, he'd stop and ask, how you feeling? How you doing? and it for no reason. I wasn't athletic. He just knew me enough to, and not with his when he was still doing with his medical stuff
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. Yeah, he was really remarkable. I know the movie's going to really talk about his battle with cancer and just how he was, but like personally getting to work with him every single day, you'd never know anything was wrong with him other than sometimes just appearance. And then, it was just, it would blow my mind, not to be graphic, but he'd just be sitting there coughing and sometimes there'd be blood, but you never hear a peep or complaint or anything.
Yeah.
He looked at his cancer as a gift and something that he could use to connect with people more, and as a way for him to talk about his faith and his legacy more. It just gave him a talking point. And so he's just like such an inspiration. Anytime I want to start to complain, I'm like, this guy was going through the worst chemo ever. He really was terminally ill. He knew that. He was just trying to prolong his life here, and he just came every day like it was. He loved his job so much, it never felt like a day he worked a day in his life. It was amazing.
Yeah. If anyone, just kind of keeping everyone on the page who doesn't know the history, very early in this show, one of the first people we thought of and came and sat down with us for a good chunk of was Pat.
Yeah.
So there is an episode out there of this show, of this podcast. You can go back in the archive and hear him tell some of those early stories about.
Yeah.
That was
and I think
very
that was
exciting
prior to the diagnosis being made public, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
Yeah. When he was on the show.
Yeah. Yeah, because it was a pretty aggressive form of cancer, and
So it wasn't, and it was interesting because I think to your point it wasn't about that. It was about the character that was Pat Pecora.
Yep. Yeah.
Like, one of the funny, I can remember when we interviewed him that there was that one story where, he kind of put out this question. He said, "Do you know where my first recruiting trip was to?" And we were like, "No, where?" He was like, "The cafeteria." Like,
Yep.
I mean, it was this weird kind of like, so you took on a job that was a nowhere. I don't know. It's not trying to put anything down, but it was kind of like a campus that was in Johnstown that was relatively in its infancy.
Yeah.
There was a wrestling program here, with Bruce Hasselrig. But Pat came on, and it was kind of like, I think he was doing soccer, he was doing wrestling, and there was this really like humble beginnings where he was, would go to the cafeteria and look for kids that had wrestling shirts on, or they were eating a lot, and say, you know what,
or had buff, or maybe cauliflower ear or something.
It was like, and that was kind of like how I recruited. I would go and I would. Hey, do you want to wrestle for me?
You look like a big. I think that was his line. You look like a big guy. You want to wrestle?
Wrestling? Where'd you get the wrestling? You got a Yock wrestling, or a Johnstown wrestling T-shirt on.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah.
It's worth hitting that show. Going back and
for sure.
Anyone who wants to hear. But that's exciting.
Yeah.
So
yeah. It's a big deal. So there's a lot of moving pieces with it. So yeah, I think I mentioned that they were going to do interviews on Friday, and then Saturday they're just going to be grabbing some B-roll footage of campus and going around there. So if you see some video cameras, that's what's happening.
So then let me ask. So then the Friday interviews, those are set. We're not looking. You're not looking for anybody else to come in. These aren't like a podcast kind of
correct.
production.
Yeah, they're pretty much set and lined up. He might pull some people as he sees them specifically. Right. He has a thorough list of names. He's been working on this for months. And like I said, him and I over the last month or so have just really, like, every single day he's been in touch. So I'm really excited about it because, Pat's so special to me, and as he is to so many people. And you worry, like, someone telling someone's story of someone you're really close, you want to make sure that it is just right because of just how amazing Pat is. But every time I talk to Tony, the producer, he is truly just so in tune with Pat. He has done so much research. I really trust him so much. And what's really neat about Tony is he actually met Pat. And they were going to originally do a film on Carlton Hasselrig. And so he met multiple times with Pat. And he's like, you know what? He's like, I think this movie's going to be about you. Because obviously Pat was a huge part in Carlton's, life and his success. And he's like, I'm making the movie about you. So he told Pat. Pat knew that. He's like, all right, buddy. So I love that he got to see the essence of Pat and just his mannerisms and just really get to meet him. So I'm really excited about him taking on this challenge. And it is a challenge.
Let me just one last question for me. So I didn't want this to come across the wrong way, and I guess it'd be in the tone in which I deliver it. So why is it important? I mean, Why do you feel it's important for this movie to be made? You know,
Yeah,
I'm not saying like don't.
I know what you mean.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like why?
Yeah.
You know, what is the importance of it?
Everything that Pat did, when you think about, okay, yeah, he's extremely successful in terms of wrestling, but a mentor, and how many lives he changed. And it's not just for his wrestlers. I'm sitting here in this seat because Pat has impacted my life. He was intentional with me. Literally, like my freshman year, the summer before my freshman year, I started working out in the gym, and I came every day at 10 a.m. and that is when Pat worked out. And from that day forward, we've been inseparable. He's the reason why I'm here. Sorry, guys. But he's the reason why I'm here. And so just his profound impact and just his Pat-isms, the things that he'd share, and the different types of values that he instilled in not just his wrestlers, but through the staff, through anybody he came in contact, is remarkable. You see the movies like Rudy and Remember the Titans. Pat is absolutely in that category. Mm-hmm. He really is. And that's what I'm stressing to people. You don't realize what this can do for our school, this movie. If it hits off and launches, it is, I remember growing up watching Rudy, and I'm like, man, Notre Dame's so cool. I want to go to Notre Dame because I love Rudy. But like, it can be the same thing for this movie. It's something bigger than us. If you didn't know Pat, it can be really impactful for our school. So that's why I'm like really behind this project happening. But I'm also really behind because Pat was a remarkable man. He is one of one, and his story needs to be told. Period. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, it does. Okay. I didn't want to come across like it's not important.
No, I know what you meant.
Like what is the importance of why?
It's the elevator pitch.
Yeah.
Give us the elevator. And
well, hopefully I did the elevator from the Empire State Building or something.
No, it was good. It was good. No, and that's an important thing, and because it is easy to. I'm thinking of myself in the position that I am, like we talked about a little bit. It's easy to be too close.
Yeah.
And sometimes get lost in the. It's not a story like that because that's a movie. You saw it. You went, and it was that thing that you went to the theater to see, or it was on cable, or it was the thing that got played. Hey, substitute teacher day, we're gonna watch an acceptable movie instead of doing science. So this is gonna be, but it is, and you're like, well, okay, that can't be because we were there.
Yeah,
you know those people, well, and it's like, no, it is though because it is. We just lived it, which is different.
An interesting correlation because you talk, about Carlton Hasselrig, and it's that same thing where it's, to Matt's point, I think being close to, I'm not saying being close in the realm of a Pat Pecora or a Carlton Hasselrig, you got to see the humbleness of these people, and when someone's humble, you don't.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't want to say you don't appreciate to the extent, but you say something like a Rudy, or you say something like The Blind Side, and you think, oh my gosh, that's larger than life. I really want to go see that. But when you're closer to it, you kind of, I don't want to say you blow it off, but you kind of shove it aside across because it's not that I'm saying it's not that important to you, but I always felt that you saw the humbleness that these were real people.
Yeah.
That they both had that manner about themselves.
Yeah.
That
the real people is probably the best way to say it.
Yeah, that you would think
that there are people who, there's days where I'm sure that Pat was annoyed about something.
Oh, yeah,
and there's days where he was happy about something. And there's, because that's like the human thing. Like, oh, geez, I forgot my lunch today.
Yep. Yeah.
Or whatever.
That was the beautiful thing about him, is because he was just always just so, like you said, humble. And, I think what people don't realize, like, they see Pat's success, but like you have to realize in the world of athletics, if someone's that successful, Pat had so many opportunities to go elsewhere and make more money and do all these things, but he really believed that he was supposed to be here and really created deep roots. So I think sometimes, and also the other thing, like you said, like when someone's so successful consistently, people often just like, oh yeah, that's what he does, he wins, but they don't realize that that's the hardest thing to do is be consistent. The best example I can give is like people get so excited and they'll acknowledge like, oh my gosh, you lost so much weight. You just lost so much weight. But when's the last time that you looked at someone who's been consistently like healthy and has maintained the same weight for 10 years and said, good job. We just don't do that because we're not used to consistency.
job,
It's something
Abby.
that
Is that what you're looking for?
no, that's not what I was looking for. I'm just saying we don't
You're doing
praise
a great
consistency.
job of maintaining it.
Yeah, like so winning gets lost when you do it all the time. He's just like, people just expect me. Like he's like, people just expect me to win. Like, oh, you got another championship. Like that is so hard to do,
Yeah.
So that's another thing. But he never cared about that. He didn't care about the accolades. When we were cleaning out his office, we found trophies and awards like Coach of the Year, NCAA Coach of the Year, shoved under his couch because it was not about the awards. It was about people for him, and that's what makes him so special.
Well, I think it's going to be real exciting to see. I'm excited that they're doing B-roll in January.
Yeah.
So people get a real understanding of what campus is like.
Yeah. Yeah, they're
80-degree summer stuff.
yeah. I don't even know when that happens.
You can never tell. It could be in the 60s or 70s come January.
They're trying to move pretty quick on this documentary. He's like, I know this is ambitious. He's like, but I would love to have the documentary done by Wrestling Nationals, which is March. So that's big time. And then he said the movie, he's looking hopefully either the start of next year's wrestling season. So that'd be November 2026 or the following year. He's like, just the more I talk to people, the more I want to go with different things. So
I hear Denzel's checking his calendar.
Is he? Yeah. He probably. I think I just got the notification on Twitter right now.
Twitter.
X or whatever it's called. I
What's
just
it
dated
called?
myself.
What's that? Entertainment Tonight.
Yeah.
Entertainment Weekly.
Yeah.
That. Is there any other 80s reference you have?
That's it.
Entertainment Tonight,
Heard
East
Billy
Berlin.
Joel's-
Do you want to crank out anything
Billy
else
Joel's
here?
doing the soundtrack. I
What's this episode of the A-Team about tonight?
heard. Billy Joel, I heard, is being tapped for the soundtrack. No?
There
Yes.
you go.
Remember, folks, if you want to come spend a couple hours with us or the day with us or Friday night and Saturday night with us, hit up the social media for athletics. David's been great sharing this on the alumni for the social media. We'll try to have it in the link of the description of the show as well. Get in, register, share with your friends, bring your family.
It's a QR code.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yep.
Yeah.
We've done a lot, with a lot of our events. We've boiled it down to put your phone on it, take a picture, fill out the information. To Abby's point, it is important you fill out both the first part, and I know she made it sound a little bit more cumbersome than it is, but it really isn't. Fill out the first one, fill out the second one. Guarantees your entrance, guarantees your swag. I think it helps us. It always feels better when you can say, hey, I know who you are, rather than someone just showed up and we missed you.
Yeah, absolutely. I can't stress enough the importance of downloading the fan app. Like for any alumni event, I told David to send me along anything, and we can push those out. And like any other app, you can toggle your notifications. I promise not to blow it up, but you'll be able to see if you have a little red one by your little app that hey, there might be an event coming up. So I promise to steward this app well.
Yeah, we
and
really
not
didn't
bug.
touch on the app
Yeah.
too much. So this is now a new app that people can use to attend events for athletics.
Yeah, and it's an event. It's a way for us to communicate about stuff happening across campus as well. But you can purchase our tickets. We finally have online ticketing, through this app. And this is what's really cool about this. Since you guys are sitting here, it's alumni created app. So it's 3 alum that one of our professors, Travis Stouffer here, and Bart Vickroy and Adam Murphy. They are all alum here that created this app, Sorcery. And they use it. They've also built this for the Mill Rats, and they came forward with us. And they're like, we'd like to donate, our time and efforts to make an app for you to the school that we love so much. And I was like, this is great. So it's just a way to communicate. Like you can buy tickets and just push out different, events that might be happening on campus. It's not anything too intrusive or anything like that. It's not like a social media platform or anything. It's just for news and purchasing tickets. As we build it, maybe more can come out of it. But we're trying to keep it kind of simple, so we're not bothering people too much.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
Well, we have quite a weekend coming up. So
Yeah.
Yep.
Abby, thanks for coming, stopping by, and talking to us.
Yeah, thanks so much for having. I really appreciate it. I just would love to see you all out there again. Just follow our website or the alumni website to see the flyers. And
It's on the Facebook page and on
yeah,
LinkedIn also.
exactly. Make sure you come up and introduce yourself because we're all about making meaningful connections here. You guys all matter to us, and I love hearing old stories about Pitt Johnstown.
Yep, Dave and I will be there. Actually, we got to talk about maybe setting up and doing the show at some
Sure.
point. Yeah,
We're going to do that.
Yeah.
Or Denzel Washington is going to be a guest.
Just don't forget Abby's T-shirt.
Oh my gosh. Thank you.
Again, Abby, thanks for coming up as always, and we'll get you back on.
Thanks for having.
and keep everyone updated about this whole project.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm real excited for that as well. Everyone, have a great week, and don't forget to subscribe and download and share with your friends. That's real important to keep everyone in the loop. What's going on? Have great interviews like this. We got we're only a couple episodes, 2 episodes in this term already, but we got some good stuff coming as we're building to our 100th episode in not that long. So everyone have a great week, and we'll talk to you later. The Tuck Shop podcast is recorded live on the University of Pittsburgh at Johnstown campus. Update your contact information with us by visiting johnstown.pitt.edu/alumni. Connect with us online via Facebook and LinkedIn, or consider donating to the university at give2, that's giveto.pitt.edu/giveupj.
This has been a production of Quantum Wave Media. Views expressed do not necessarily reflect the opinion of the University of Pittsburgh at Johnstown.